Cristiano Ronaldo is the first footballer in history to become a billionaire, more wealthy than any other player to lace up and step on the field. But the goals on the field are not what made Ronaldo a billionaire. Plenty of legends scored just as many and walked away with a fraction of Ronaldo's billion-dollar outcome. What got him there was a single decision Ronaldo made at 18 for only $900 that every other football player missed. This is the hidden portfolio of Cristiano Ronaldo and how he outsmarted the game. All right, let's get into it. The kid from the poorest island in Portugal. In 1985, Cristiano Ronaldo was born on a small island off the coast of Portugal. Money was tight, his mother was a cleaner, while his father was a kitman at a local football club, CF Andorinha. Ronaldo spent his time around the club with his father. By 7, he joined the club and quickly became one of the strongest players there. By 9, his godfather helped him move to CD Nacional, and Ronaldo quickly began to get noticed. He earned a trial at Sporting CP, one of the best academies in Portugal, at just 12 years old. And at 12 years old, Ronaldo left Madeira to move to Lisbon on his own. That transition is tough, but Ronaldo trained harder, improved his skills, and rose through the club ranks. By 17, Ronaldo broke into Sporting's first team, playing primarily as a right winger. He was now more than just a talented kid from Madeira. Clubs were taking notice, talent scouts were watching, and Ronaldo's name started to move beyond just Portugal. At this point, it was clear Ronaldo was on his way to becoming a valuable asset. But what was yet to be seen was how valuable that talent would become. Phase 2, the €900 decision that changed everything. In August 2003, Sporting CP invited Manchester United to Lisbon to open their new stadium, and before kickoff, Alex Ferguson added one last line to his team talk. United had already been tracking Cristiano Ronaldo for months, and the plan was simple: sign him and then loan him back to Sporting for a year to develop. But once the game started, that plan began to fall apart. Every time Ronaldo gets the ball on the right, he isolates his defender and attacks. United couldn't adjust. Sporting wins 3-1. Rio Ferdinand had come in with a long-term plan, but after seeing Ronaldo play live, waiting to bring him on no longer made sense. Within a week, the deal is done. United paid around $20 million, a record amount, to sign a teenage Ronaldo to a 5-year deal. But Ronaldo doesn't do this deal alone. Behind him was Jorge Mendes, the agent who had been building Ronaldo from behind the scenes from the very beginning. And instead of treating Ronaldo as just a player, Mendes splits Ronaldo's contract into 2 key parts. Manchester United got the football contract, but Ronaldo's name, his image, and everything tied to his identity sat inside a separate company directly under his control. And at the time, Ronaldo's name wasn't worth much. At the time, other major players were losing direct control of their identity due to companies registering their names as trademarks before they even thought to. Ronaldo saw this trap and made sure to get around it from day one. In 2007, Ronaldo filed a trademark for CR7, just 2 letters and a number, for €900. That single decision would turn out to be one of the most important moves in building his entire empire. Between 2006 and 2008, Ronaldo helped United win back-to-back Premier League titles, then UEFA Champions League, along with the FIFA Club World Cup the same exact year. His salary climbed towards $10 million a year, and brands started paying attention. One of the first was Nike. Early deals are estimated in the low 6 figures per year, but the deal structure was what made this different than any other athlete endorsements at the time. Nike wasn't paying the club, they were paying Ronaldo directly. This was the first step in turning Ronaldo's name into a global business, and it starts with a phone call from Real Madrid. If you want to see how other operators use the exact same system to build 9-figure empires, hit subscribe. On this channel, we stop looking at celebrities as entertainment and start analyzing the money systems behind them. Every single week, we break down how operators, celebrities, entrepreneurs build institutional wealth from unconventional starting points. So make sure to subscribe now so you don't miss the next one. Phase 3, the year with El Real. By late 2008, Cristiano Ronaldo had done everything Alex Ferguson asked of him: 3 Premier League titles, a UEFA Champions League, and a Ballon d'Or. Now he wanted something else: Real Madrid. But Ferguson didn't want to sell, especially not to a club he might face in Europe. If anything, he preferred sending Ronaldo to Barcelona, strengthen a rival in Spain, not a direct threat. But this was already moving beyond him. Behind the scenes, Jorge Mendes had secured a private agreement between Ronaldo and Real Madrid in late 2008. Both sides committed, with a heavy financial penalty if either decided to back out. So in 2019, the deal goes through. Real Madrid pays $130 million, a world record transfer at the time, to sign Ronaldo and move him into the biggest commercial stage in football. This move doesn't just increase Ronaldo's salary, it exploded his brand exposure, and it's where his portfolio starts to change. At Manchester United, Ronaldo's image rights structure existed. At Madrid, it starts to scale. The club gives Ronaldo global visibility at a new all-time high, all while keeping 100% direct ownership of his name. That separation, set up all those years earlier, now becomes irreplaceable. Now, instead of only earning a salary, Ronaldo is also now building global brand leverage. From 2009 to 2018, Ronaldo continued to scale both his performance income and his brand income to all-time highs. 4 Champions League titles, 4 Ballon d'Ors, and over 450 goals. Ronaldo's salary climbs past $40 million a year, and his personal brand directly follows that growth. He becomes the most followed person in the world across many of the major social media platforms. The real shift happens when Ronaldo turns the CR7 trademark into ownership endorsement stakes. You see it first with CR7 underwear in 2013 through a joint venture with JBS Textile, and then again with fragrances through Eden Perfumes. In 2015, hotel entrepreneur Dionisio Pestana approached Cristiano Ronaldo to apply the same model to hospitality. Pestana CR7 Hotels launches, and Ronaldo contributes brand value and capital. Total investment is around $100 million, with Ronaldo holding roughly an estimated 50% equity stake in the company. At this point, Ronaldo is no longer getting paid to promote other people's companies. He's getting paid to promote companies that he directly owns. Peak performance on the pitch, peak income off it, and a portfolio that keeps growing whether he scores or not. And usually, this is where the traditional athlete story stabilizes and the credits roll. But unfortunately, in Ronaldo's case, something starts to break. Phase 4. Everything started to fall apart. In 2017, Spanish prosecutors charged Cristiano Ronaldo with tax fraud, accusing him of hiding $16 million in image usage rights income in offshore business structures between 2011 and 2014. The case drags on for over a year, and according to Ronaldo, Real Madrid isn't doing enough to protect him publicly. At the same time, Ronaldo's contract rate starts to bother him after he finds out Leo Messi is earning more at Barcelona than he is at Madrid. Ronaldo believes that gap shouldn't exist. So in 2018, when Juventus offers Cristiano Ronaldo $34 million a year, he accepts. The idea is simple. Juventus isn't just buying a player, they're buying the one thing they've been missing, the biggest trophy in European club football. And at first, it looks like it's working. Ronaldo delivers what he always does, goal after goal, over 100 across 3 seasons, 2 league titles. But that's not what they paid for. They paid for one result, and that result never came. Round of 16, out. Quarterfinal, out. Round of 16, again, out. Same investment, same expectations, same ending, and then the timing gets worse. In 2020, COVID hits. Stadiums close, club revenue drops, and the club comes under real financial pressure. Juventus asks players to delay part of their wages just to keep cash flow stable. Ronaldo agrees to defer around $21 million with the understanding it will be paid back to him later. But the money system around him was already starting to crack. By 2021, Ronaldo wanted out and left for Manchester United. And that deferred money, Juventus claimed a private agreement that was never officially signed and refused to transfer the funds. Ronaldo took them straight to court. The court ruled in Ronaldo's favor, forcing Juventus to pay him a massive $11 million settlement to cover his back wages and legal fees. Ronaldo returned to Manchester United, and for a moment, all seemed to be well. Shirt sales explode, fans are excited, the comeback story writes itself. But the club Ronaldo walked into is completely different than what it used to be. When Ronaldo left years earlier, the club was run by Alex Ferguson, his manager who built the system around him. Now his team was under a new manager named Erik ten Hag. Ronaldo and Erik's styles did not match. Now, at the age of 37, Ronaldo isn't able to press defenders or run for the team the way younger players do. But Ten Hag's roster depends on this exact playing style, players who run, press, and fit into a strict structure. So Ronaldo is no longer a main piece of Manchester United's strategy. He starts on the bench and walks off the pitch early in nearly every single game. In October 22, Ronaldo publicly criticized Man United, and he claimed that the club hasn't improved in years, he felt disrespected, and had no longer any respect for the manager. A few weeks later, Manchester United terminated his contract, effective immediately. For the first time since Ronaldo was a teenager, he was on the hunt for a new team, and the biggest clubs in Europe didn't want to sign him. At this point, Ronaldo is 37 years old, his salary demands are still among the highest in the world, and after the public interview and on-field incidents, clubs see him as a PR risk. And just like that, the reputation that carried Ronaldo for nearly 20 years slowly began to fade. To some, this looked like the beginning of the end, but behind the scenes, the most valuable move of Ronaldo's career was already taking shape, with almost nobody watching. The whole market had already priced him as done, but the people who actually understood his business knew the crowd had it completely wrong. And that gap between what everyone assumes and what actually happens is where the real money has always been made. If you've ever followed an event and felt like you could already see the outcome before it happens, there's finally a place to trade on it, thanks to today's sponsor, Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market platform where users can trade on the outcomes of real-world events. Polymarket lets you trade shares with other users in an open market exchange. Polymarket is now live on the App Store, and you can trade on literally anything, like who will lift the next Champions League trophy, or who will win this year's Ballon d'Or, or whether or not Cristiano Ronaldo will score 1,000 career goals before he retires. Sports, news, pop culture, politics, you can trade on all of it. Trade prices are valued on the market's belief in the probability of a given event occurring, and all trades are settled through smart contracts on the blockchain, ensuring you always have control of your funds. Download Polymarket on the App Store and start trading today. Phase 5, the comeback story nobody believed in. Ricky Ragouf is the Nike marketing executive who originally signed a 16-year-old Ronaldo to his very first boot deal. For over 2 decades, while Mendes handled Ronaldo's soccer contracts, Ricky handled the global marketing engine. So when the European football world closed its doors, Ricky didn't look for another team for Ronaldo. He looked for buyers in need of a global media channel, and Ricky absolutely delivered. He bypassed traditional European sports networks entirely and negotiated directly with the highest levels of the Saudi state on Ronaldo's behalf. In December 2022, Cristiano Ronaldo signed with Al-Nassr. Initially, the internet had completely lost its mind. Fans called this move a desperate retirement deal driven by greed, and that criticism looked even worse when Leo Messi rejected his own massive Saudi offer months later. Everyone assumed Ronaldo took the deal because he had completely run out of other options, but they actually missed the financial engineering behind it. Al-Nassr wasn't paying Ronaldo out of a normal team budget. The club had just been taken over by the Saudi Public Investment Fund, the government trying to execute Vision 2030, a $1 trillion strategy to shift their entire national economy away from oil and toward tourism. Al-Nassr didn't need to buy soccer players to score goals. They needed to buy an immediate pipeline to 1 billion consumers. And when a sovereign state decides to buy attention, the standard rules of sports business completely dissolve. Because Al-Nassr was backed by state wealth, they broke all the norms of a traditional football contract and signed Ronaldo to a staggering contract worth $200 million a year. But the real genius wasn't the cash itself. It was the digital leverage it unlocked when Ronaldo started his YouTube channel. Ronaldo wasn't just building a YouTube channel from scratch in 2024. He was plugging it into a digital monster he had been feeding for the last 15 years. Ronaldo already owned the most followed Instagram account on earth, as well as massive audiences across Facebook and X. When Ronaldo launched his YouTube channel on August 21st, 2024, and promoted it on his other social platforms, the results smashed every YouTube record in platform history. Ronaldo hit 1 million subscribers in just 90 minutes, and 10 million in less than 12 hours. By combining his YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and X audiences, Ronaldo became the first person in history to cross 1 billion followers on all of social media. This is where Ronaldo's entire empire reached total automation. For the last 20 years, Ronaldo had to pitch himself to television networks and sponsors just to get a check. Now, he owned the network, he owned the distribution, and he owned the data. If a brand wants to pitch a product to Ronaldo's audience, they don't buy a commercial on a sports network anymore. They have to pay Ronaldo directly to upload a post or a video to his channels on his own terms. On Instagram alone, companies have been reportedly cutting checks for a staggering $3 million for just a single sponsored post, transforming Ronaldo's profile into one of the most expensive digital billboards on earth. And this is where the financial world finally took notice. Shortly after the Al-Nassr move, the Bloomberg Billionaires Index officially calculated Ronaldo's wealth, and in that, it revealed that he had become the first billionaire footballer in history and had crossed a $1.4 billion net worth. The takeaway? That number didn't come from just football. 72% of it came from 4 decisions Ronaldo made off the pitch. And every single one is something that you can do as well. First, register the asset before it has value. By the time your name means something, someone else might have already filed. Second, own the channel. Don't rent it. Sponsors used to put Ronaldo on their platforms. Now they pay him to get his access. Third, license your asset as equity, not as a fee. A fee pays you once. Equity keeps paying you and compounding over time. If you want to see how LeBron James built a billion-dollar portfolio playing a similar business game in the basketball world, the breakdown is right here. Different court, same system. I'm Buster, and I'll see you next time. Peace.